What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what's happened to Kotaku. So this really was brought about by the newest, hit piece article. Not even really a hit piece, but just disrespectful, calling out, trolling, whatever you want to call it. But just a stupid article from Kotaku. I tweeted it on my Twitter, and I've kind of, I've always had enough. It would be rough to say, it wouldn't be right to say I've had enough now. But like, what's funny, and I have talked about this before, is the internet really has turned on Kotaku over the past year. Even the gaming journalists out there that are just all of these pushovers that don't call out anything really, except for obviously what the hive mind tells them to call out. Even they have turned on Kotaku. Gaming developers who some of them are outspoken, but a lot of them kind of just keep to themselves, which I respect. But then the ones that are outspoken, you would never consider them somebody who would call out something like Kotaku, because again, they're all the exact same people. They all think the same, all act the same, but even they have turned on Kotaku. So I've said that before, and I do not think that's a stretch at all to state. It really does seem like everybody's had enough of Kotaku's BS, and they're ready to call out. Now, I've said, I guess better late than never. Still, I'm pretty angry or upset at people that are just now they're realizing it over the last couple months. What, because they insulted a couple games or a couple people, now you're gonna call them out, versus like when they've been doing it for the past 3-4 years. So the thing to me is Kotaku has always been, not always, in fact, back in the day, I actually really respected them. I really liked them. But I'd say over the last maybe 5 to 7 years, they've been about as horrible as, maybe 5, about as horrible as they can get. And it's just progressively gotten worse. I mean, I really don't think anybody's going to argue that the only time you ever see Kotaku, at least I see Kotaku, is when they're in a controversy, when they said something stupid in an article and the article gets spread. I don't know a single soul. Now, granted, we're all in our own pockets of the internet, but I don't know a single person that actually goes to Kotaku for, information, for news. I'm sure there are, a handful of people. I'm sure there, 20, 30, 40,000. I don't know how many people visit Kotaku, but I'm sure it's an extremely small crowd of people that all think exactly the same. And I don't want to be part of that group anyway, and I really have, again, no problems saying that. Now, again, like this last article talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, saying it looks better now that it's not being made by some weird Christian dude. It's like, would you say that for somebody who's Jewish? Would you say that for it's the same thing that I always tell you guys. If you say something, right, because the world, and especially even these gaming journalists, right, they love diversity, which, by the way, I have nothing against putting diversity into things, absolutely no issue. But, when they say things about, say, white people, and you replace it, if you replaced it with anything other than white, and you would say, wow, that's pretty the R word, or that's pretty the S word. You know what I mean? Like if you say for a black person, and you say, wow, that would get taken, that would, everybody would attack that if you said that about a black person. If you say that kind of stuff, but for white people, you're still being that same word. And that's, kind of the issue that, again, now this is a religion. They're basically going after Christians. It's like, well, firstly, like, why? Like, do you really have a reason? Now, again, it's not like the biggest dig in the world. However, Kotaku did participate in canceling, this Scott guy, right, the maker of Five Nights at Freddy's, and, they were a big part, along with the rest of the internet, in having him step down from his position. So it's not like Kotaku's any stranger to canceling people. They did it for Troy Leavitt. They've done it for Colin Moriarty. They did it for Scott. They do it for everybody. And again, and on their off time, when they're not canceling people, they like to just attack things. They call out. And the thing that I tweeted out today, right, the thing that's so funny that these people just, and again, this is where all of these, keyboard warrior journalists out there that, now they're turning on Kotaku and they're saying, oh yeah, they're a pretty terrible site. Now they're saying it. But, these are also the same people that always tell us, always are lecturing us, be better. Be better out there, guys. Be more inclusive, be more diverse. Don't be rude. Don't be toxic, right? Oh my God, toxic gamers. Firstly, that's all if you are a gamer, most likely you're toxic, because that's just what we think. But yet again, Kotaku can just go around just insulting everybody. Kotaku can insult games now. They can insult developers, right? But when they did it for Call of Duty, remember that? They can insult, they can literally insult anything they want. And sure, they're going to get called out now, but they've been doing it forever. And everybody else does it only when they're told to, right? If you're told, oh, attack Hogwarts Legacy, or, if the hive mind, the gaming journalists say that, well, they're all going to go do it. But yet again, if you were to, say some mean things in a Call of Duty multiplayer match, you're considered evil. Call of Duty should ban you. You should never be allowed to. Now, yes, am I advocating for like saying the worst things imaginable in like a party chat? No. I mean, generally, actually always, I've never done that. Even when I was a kid. Now maybe it's because I didn't really play multiplayer games as a, teenager or kid growing up, and I'd like to believe I would never, do stuff like that. I guess I don't really know because I was never really given the opportunity, but saying some things or maybe threatening, right? That obviously is probably something you shouldn't do. But the point is, you see a lot of these games now even in like the opening menu of these games, they're always talking about how you need to be respectful to one another, which is fine. I mean, those are good principles to instill on people. I don't think they're bad. But the point is, you're lectured over and over from these games, from these developers, from these gaming journalists, mainly the game journalists, and yet they do it. Like, their entire platform of Kotaku is now built on just upsetting people. It seems like, to me, every day they do something dumb in an article, whether it's bringing, and I follow a couple people that'll like point it out, so I guess like I see it more than like an average person, especially if you don't go on, which I don't. I do not click on Kotaku ever. I look at retweets, I look at quote tweets. That's all I see of Kotaku. I really try to never give them clicks on their site because I don't want to help them at all. In fact, I wish they would go away forever. But, I'll see these things, and it just seems like every day, new person, but again, they all think the exact same. If you work at Kotaku, most likely you're the exact same person as the person sitting to your left or right. So it's a different person, but it's the same message every time. Let's insult people. Let's throw in politics. We all remember the PS5 review, right? And by the way, that was a big one because it was literally, a PlayStation 5 review, and they inserted, an entire Joe Biden thing in there. But at the same time, they do that all the time. Like, again, maybe don't click on it, but, maybe follow people that I follow. You'll see, like, it seems like every day they'll just throw in paragraphs and try to insert literally real world politics into things that have absolutely nothing to do with them. And it's what I have said a trillion times. It's what others have said a trillion times. These are people that hate you. They hate me. They hate games. They hate their job. They want to be political, pundits. They want to work on CNN, but they can't. They are stuck here, so they have to do so. Now, is every single one of them like that? No, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are, and specifically in certain places, like Kotaku, PC Gamer is another one, Polygon, Game. Like, there's some where it just seems like every single person is like that. So, again, I do think, I guess it is probably a good idea for me to say, I have nothing against the good people in gaming journalists. In fact, some of them follow me. I've talked to some of them. Like, I know, and I've even talked to like people that want to get into it, or people that are in college and they write for like their college newspapers and stuff about games. Like, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. And I want you guys to replace these pathetic idiots in Kotaku and all of these places. I want them gone, and I want you guys to replace them, because I do think we could use gaming journalism, even non-YouTube. Like, obviously, I would prefer YouTube to stay around and be just as big, if not bigger, for my own sake. But, I don't mind Kotaku being alive as long as it's good. And it's really not. But it's funny. It's funny and also just aggravating to see the fall from grace that they've had, because they've fallen so far. And then to see all these people, dogpiling on them. Again, I think late, very, very late. Again, the quote, or the phrase, better late than never. But in some cases, that's not exactly the best phrase to use. You know what I mean? You should have done it when you should have done it, and instead you waited. So you're a coward. You're pathetic too. And I think a lot of these people that are calling out them now, they fall in that, they fall in that category. They're just doing it because now it's cool. Now it's acceptable to hate on Kotaku, even though it's always, really the smart ones are the ones that could see this stuff like years ago, like me, like other people. You need to call it out when it happens. So, I guess that's an interesting thing to see, but it's also just interesting to see literally every day Kotaku just doing something, like literally every article I see from them is just absolute garbage. So again, I really don't know who goes to that site for anything constructive, except for just kind of to reinforce what they believe. That's really what a lot of people go to a lot of things for. But I do think that's what a lot of people go to Kotaku is they're all the exact same person. They have the same beliefs, and they're just going to kind of reconfirm those things with each other. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. I love making these videos, but they are dangerous, and I don't say that just to say it. They are a little scary to make, because obviously they can get me in some pretty big trouble. Obviously, I'm choosing to do this on the second channel, but give it a like. Give this video a like. If you did like this stuff, I can definitely do more. And again, I love making these videos. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the bell icon turned on. I do a brand new video on the channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.